a message to the bloodline light warriors. Tick at the talk of the cosmic clock, as we're on TikTok as well. The bloodline is under attack. The bloodline is under attack. And I'm sure many of you have been feeling that. My message from yesterday has been under attack. And so I'm sharing that with you all. Keep the hearts coming as you coming through. Yes, the DNA activation. What am I talking about? Let me get right into it. Now that I got us all here, whoever's meant to be here will be here. If you find the frequencies, consider that you finding your assignment. So it's your choice if you choose to keep this high frequency or not. Ashe, peace, love, and light. Welcome in, Diamond. Tap those hearts. So we can keep the energetic algorithms coming. I'm talking to the bloodline light warriors. What does that mean? That means you've been working in your bloodline. You've been doing work on yourself, but the work that you've been doing on yourself has been to affect your bloodline, to break generational curses, right? We call them curses. And for those people who are sensitive to the word curse, it's a generational, it's a karmic loop, right? The karmic loop within the bloodlines. And so we're here to break all of that. That's what you've been doing just by you working on you. There's 3 steps, there's 3 levels to this, and I'm gonna break that down to you so you get what I'm talking about. But it starts with you. So most of you have been working on yourself ever since, probably for a while, but I'm gonna say at least as far back to as 2020. Stick with me. From 2020, you got the wake-up call. You got your 2020 vision. You didn't fall for the okie doke with that 19 stuff, right? You didn't get the jab. You made it through all of that. And even if you did, you woke up to something and didn't take no more. No updates for the jab for you, right? And you've been doing so much of your work that you regenerated your blood and was able to turn over that invasion even if you happen to take one. So either way, you've been waking up since 2020. You've answered the call. You went through the great awakening. You've gone through the great purification that we've been having, and right now we're in the midst of the great disillusionment. That's why everything that is going off, that is happening. See, the wind picks up. I ain't lying. The great disillusionment is to break everything that we have been in the illusion of in society, in our life, world, and affairs, in the families, right? And the families are the gatekeepers, believe it or not, to certain things in the realm outside of us, in culture and society. It starts with your family first. And that's why the attack is often through the family members, through the bloodline, through your very own parents in time, right? Your timekeepers, your time pushers, all of this. But now we need to know what time it is within the bloodline. And so the message that was coming through yesterday that was being blocked was about the Venus. For those of you who may have saw that video, yes, it was muted on TikTok. My apologies. It wasn't me. It was just the message was being blocked. It was not only muted, but it was cut. And then I went today, right before this live, to do 2 more messages that would not go through. So I know this is a message that they don't want to go through. I know this is a major block that they don't want people to know. So in speaking of the bloodline, what I was talking about yesterday, that message was the Venus and Saturn conjunction, because it was knowing that relationships are being held accountable. That was what was happening through that conjunction. On Sunday, you may have felt a heaviness or a urgency to do something. You may have even had a dream. You may have woken up out of a dream that this is an urgency, that something must be done, especially the bloodline light warriors. And you may have felt a call. Just go to your higher self and asking what to do, who to call, what to, and it's being given to you to speak to particular members in the family, the true golden tickets in the family. And I did a live talking about this, talking about the 3 types of what to look out for in the family issues right now. To find what's happening in the energetic cults within the family. Yes, we have energetic cults. Those are the wounds that are held. There are certain wounds within each family, and it's being held, it's being coddled, it's being protected even. And there's gatekeepers for that. So there are gatekeepers, there are scapegoats, and there are golden tickets, or what I like to call the golden child. There's a true golden ticket who is meant to be the breaker, the karmic loop breaker. And then there is the false sense of golden ticket, because the gatekeeper designates highlights who the golden ticket is or the scapegoat. These are things we got to look out for in the family. And I did that video before, just bringing it to your attention so you're aware of what to be looking for. The true golden tickets are the ones who are really, really ready to break through, right? They may not be all the way there, but you will recognize them. You will see them. You will know them when you see them. Your third eye will recognize them. Ashe? And so right now what's happening is a call together with these, a come together and a call for these true golden tickets in the family to come together, to have acknowledgement, accountability, and integrity. This is what is going to unlock some things and really have the break in these family loops. And this is what they don't want. This is what the opposition does not want, because it clings to what has been happening in the shadows of the families, in the secrets. And this is what I spoke on. The secrets are very lethal. So do not think you can come up and do this work and be in secret, right? Welcome in. Continue to tap the hearts. Those of you who coming in TikTok, tap the hearts so we can keep the energetic pattern, the energetic algorithm going to get to those who need to get it, those bloodline light warriors. Things are not what they seem in the family. So we're being called to look at where there needs to be acknowledgement and accountability. We're being called to recognize the energetic cult patterns, as most of you already have. Most of you already know what your energetic cult patterns are in the family, the dysfunctions, the things like avoidance, denials, incest, family incest, all these things that they choose to not acknowledge. These are the keepers. That's why they're called gatekeepers. They keep the gates locked to keep the secrets in. And as long as you keep those secrets and you choose to keep those secrets, then it is lethal to the family awakening. It is lethal, and it keeps those in the bloodline trapped in those energetic patterns. And right now they're desperately seeking to siphon out your light, because they see you. They recognize you. This is why I'm saying, y'all, the bloodline is under attack. Those within the bloodlines that are under the grips of the energetic cult and that are under the grips of the parasitic entanglement, that's what's at stake right now. They are desperate energies doing desperate things to keep what they have kept. And they know that this is a timeline loop. This is a karmic loop break for not just you, but for the family, for the bloodline. You are breaking bloodline entanglements that have probably been in your bloodline for generations, right? This is why they call them generational curses. You're not just breaking a curse. You're doing something bigger than you think. Let me let you know what it is, because they don't want you to know this. You're doing something bigger than you think. You are breaking, you are loosening the grip of the parasitic entanglement that has had its tentacles in the entire bloodline, discombobulated and confused all these years. Some of you have been fighting things that's not even the real fight. It's something behind that. There's a reason why that's being presented, because it's being presented through the wounds. It's a part of it, but that's not the real fight. That parasitic entanglement that's in the grips does not want you to loosen that grip. And by you breaking the karmic loop, you loosen the grip and you allow more light to come through. This is about light penetration. This is about light being able to come through and blast through and have a pressure cleaning type of cutting through, cleansing in the blood, a true spiritual dialysis. And I'm not just talking about the physical blood. I'm talking about the cosmic blood, which is the spiritual blueprint. The spiritual blueprint, or bloodline, is what I call it. Your spiritual blueprint is infused with your physical blueprint, with your physical blood. Let me put it that way. So when I say bloodline, y'all don't stop there. Remember, we in the fifth dimension. This is a multi-dimensional explanation. I need you to expand your mind beyond the scopes of just third dimension or fourth dimension. This is a fifth dimension acknowledgement. This is what 5D is about. Now that we're in the fifth dimension, we are being awakened to the understanding of what the true meaning of the bloodline is, what the true meaning of DNA activation is. It's activating the blood. It's activating the dormant codes that have been in your blood time after time, and past life after life, however you want to look at it. Every time you incarnate, you carry your box. I'm gonna call it the black box. Like in the plane, there's a black box. You carry that black box with you through your subconscious. That's why the subconscious holds everything. You carry that with you in the entanglement, in the God encryption that is in your blood. The DNA, your blood, is your God encryption. That's why they always trying to tap into your blood. That's why they always trying to read your blood. They want to read it before you can read it. But if you can tap in, if you can do your soul's work, your soul ascension within yourself activates your blood. That is how you have activation. Thank you for joining in. Tap the hearts. Keep tapping the hearts as much as you can so we can get to those bloodline light workers, light warriors. That DNA, it activates every time you do your soul work, every single time. So when you do every leveling up that you've done, everything that you've come through, you activate, you take it to another level and another level, and you change the very molecules in your blood. You unlock and gain access to the God encryption that is in your blood that even they can't read when they put it under a microscope, because it's for you to read. There's an access that only you can get. But if you don't get it, you're blocked out of it as much as they are. And you can't fully access the fullness of your armor. That's how you armor up. You won't be able to access your true gifts, your psychic abilities that are coming online. A lot of you feel it. I know you know what I'm talking about. You feel it. But if we don't do what we need to do to unlock the codes, and that means letting go of holds, we should be doing everything in our power right now to find, to seek, and find where there are any unhealed wounds. This is not the time to say, well, I don't know. Ignorance is no excuse. Ignorance is going to keep us stuck. This is not the time to say that I don't know. This is a time to go find it, go figure it out. Peace, love, and light. Joanne, tap some hearts. If you're just coming through, just send some hearts so it'll help the right person get through. If you meant to be here with us. This is a high frequency vibration. Not many can find this frequency. So if you found it, consider yourself there. 444, and I see the numbers 444, so I know you there, right? That's the trinity of a foundational balance. We have to have this balance in the four corners of the earth, with the four elements of the earth, and within the four directions of the cosmos that are guiding us through the earth. There's a lot that's happening right now. So faithfully, you're getting the complexities of what I'm saying. This is a convoluted universe, but I'm doing my best to explain it as best as I can. Right? There's an urgency that is in the emergency of the emergence that is happening right now with the light warriors, the bloodline light warriors. This is not a time to let it go. This is a time to have those difficult conversations that need to be had. This is a time to armor up with all of your bloodline activation that you had been getting if you've been doing the work, and armor up and go and have those conversations. Whether they like it or not, this is not a time for people to be comfortable. They're gonna be very uncomfortable. Because why? Those energetic cults that are behind them, there's an energy behind them. Don't take it personal. It's not them, and it's not even the personal issue that you think you have. That is just the way that it's being enacted out on the outside. That is just the symptom. That is the excuse, if you will, or the mode in which it's happening on the physical plane. But it's deeper than that. There's an energy behind that. There's a big energy behind that, and there's the parasitic. The biggest one over is the parasitic engagement and entanglement that wants to keep you and the family in that loop, and they want to keep their hooks in there. So they're constantly fighting you out of it, right? So right now, hit the hearts. Thank you for coming through. Hit the hearts so we can keep getting to those who are those light warriors that's meant to be here. Comment if you in here, if you know you a bloodline light warrior, put it in the chat. Put DNA, put bloodline light warrior, put the angel codes you've been seeing, 333, 555, 444. Drop it in the chat, because that's our energetic agreement right there. That's how we energetically say, I'm here, I see it, I'm ready to be at my station. I'm ready to do what needs to be done in this generation, right? And I'm going to break that down to you some more. Peace, love, and light. Come on in. How do you claim your benevolent feeling for for breaking the karmic loop? We just got to step in and you got to claim the benevolence, know that you walk in that benevolence, and continue to do what you do in breaking it. Break the loop in any which way. If it's having that conversation, if it's keeping your boundaries, it may be with certain family members. Some of us are engaging in certain things with family members that we're not supposed to. We need to stop, whether it's eating with them, drinking with them, smoking with them. These are energetic contracts, right? You're contracting yourself to them, especially if you're doing these things with them and you're not having the acknowledgement that needs to be had, right? You're not having the acknowledgement, which doesn't allow for accountability, and there can be no true transcendence without accountability. That's why that Venus-Saturn conjunction on Sunday was that important and that urgent. Venus is about relationships, right? And Saturn is about, more than relationships, but this speaks to the message of relationships being held accountable. Saturn is about accountability. And so that was opening the door for that. That's why you felt that urgency since that around that time. It might have been a day before, it might have been yesterday, but Sunday was like the peak of it at that conjunction where you may have woken up out of a strong dream. I know I did. And that dream was very strong. And I'm going to share that with y'all so some of y'all bloodline light warriors understand the part that you play as a karmic loop, breaking the link. You are the link, and everything stops at you, right? And everything that has happened before you, you'll see when I explain the dream. You're going to see what I'm talking about, right? And if you have any questions, bloodline light warrior, Ashe, if you have any questions, this is the place to chop it up, to talk about it right here, right now. Right? If you've been thinking that you are, if you've been feeling the fight, you know what it is, right? Jupiter, let me see if I can explain it to you so you understand how the celestials, the cosmos guide us. They're guiding us right now. Jupiter is in Cancer. You have been feeling, most of us have been feeling this since Jupiter entered Cancer, right? About around summertime, last summer. Summertime, around that time. Jupiter in Cancer. Cancer is the house of and the principalities of home life, right? So you need to look and see where in your chart do you have anything in Cancer in your chart, especially if you got a Chiron in Cancer. Your Chiron is here to really go through that. Some of you that have been going through some real family hiccups, that's because of your Chiron in Cancer, right? Most people with their Chiron in Cancer might have been born around, unless they're real elder, might have been born around the 80s, 88, somewhere around 88 to 90, 1990s, somewhere around that. I know there's a few people in that. That's your Chiron in Cancer. And Chiron is the wounded healer. So therefore, a lot of things have been happening to bring these wounds up from lifetimes. I'm not just talking about now. This is from past lives. This is what you've come in this lifetime to heal. Family karmic trauma. So check to see if that is in your alignment. Check to see if you have any placement in Cancer, particularly right now, that is dealing with the home life. Your north node, your south node. Look and see where that is showing up for you. Right? Because it's about the home life. It's about nurturing. It's about the maternal lineage. It's the maternal. So when you're looking in your bloodline, look particularly to the maternal lineage. Ashe? There's something in that maternal line. Keep the hearts coming. Keep the hearts coming. Welcome in bloodline light warriors. If this is for you, share the light, share the likes so that it can get to those who it needs to get to. All right? So we have that going on with Jupiter. We've been feeling that as it entered. And I had been talking about it before, that there's going to be a lot of stir-ups in the families, essentially, as Jupiter is expanding our view on that. And this expansion is to bring us into a wisdom, because Jupiter also represents that expanded wisdom. If you so choose to become wise, experience teaches wisdom, but if you choose to receive that wisdom, Ashe? So with that, in the last 4 months, it went into retrograde, which means it's giving us a retrospective view. It's dialing it back for us and helping us say, hey, look back at this. It's important that you look at this. It's bringing up some things that are in retrospect so that you can deal with it, particularly within the family. So you may have been feeling some of those upheavals and things like that. Ashe, Ashe, thanks for the follow. Spice. I think it says Spice Isle. Thanks for the follow. Excuse me if I messed it up. Those who coming through, peace, love, and light. Jewel, peace, love, and light. Drop some hearts. If you're just passing through, you could drop a heart and keep going, just to help get it to those who need to get it. Bloodline light warriors. Ashe. So this has been happening for the past few months. Excuse the welcome distraction coming over. Right now, it's being activated this particular month. Third Eye Atlas has been activating our entire solar system, and its final exit is after it passes Jupiter this month on the 17th. Close encounter with Jupiter, finally giving Jupiter its update and upgrade as it did with Mars and Venus and the Sun with Mercury and the Earth. Between the months of October, November, December, right? It last passed Earth in December and has been on its way towards Jupiter. And then it's going to leave our system. So a lot has been activated. Why am I saying this? Because Third Eye Atlas plays a real key, important part in all of this, because we're never going to see Third Eye Atlas again. The amplification of what's happening in the energetic field, it's because of Third Eye Atlas, right? Along with all the other celestial bodies that are doing what they're doing. Neptune entering into Pisces is another major shift. All those outer planets that have shifted into the next sign, major shift, particularly Saturn and Neptune together, which has not happened in centuries. Ashe? The last time that Neptune entered was about 1861. If you look it up, you'll see. And there were major shifts that were happening because it's closing out the veil. Whenever they leave Pisces, Pisces is the last month in the cosmos. It's the 12th month, house, sign, whatever you call it. So it closes out karmic loops. So this is a major closeout that we're not going to see for another 100 and something years by Neptune, the dreamer, that helps to close out illusions, right? So illusions within the family. Why am I saying all this? Because whatever you have believed to be true is not true. Are you willing to break that though? This is the karmic loop breakers. And so this is happening now, particularly this month, as we cross this cosmic threshold, and there's going to be an energetic seal. And wherever you choose to deal is where you will be sealed. Whatever family members align with you is either they with you or they not. But this is a time for you to blow up the spot, to break it, make it clean, clear, cut, and break. Most of you have already done that. Ashe? So to share that with you now, that just to kind of give you seeing what's happening in the cosmos. The cosmos tell you everything. This is very interactive. Mercury, planet of communication, is in retrograde right now in Pisces. That is taking us through the depths. This deep travel in the bloodline, which is the cosmic blueprint that's helping us to move through the multi-dimensions of our soul self, right? And the multiple dimensions of the bloodline as well, is because of Mercury being met in retrograde in Pisces, taking us into the depths, because Pisces is a spiritual house. That means the spiritual existence on multiple levels and in multiple dimensions. Who can know it, right? So it's taking us that deep. This is that opportunity that we're getting with all the other planets moving around where they're moving, and particularly Jupiter being in that family house. So what does all of this say? The families are being disturbed right now. There's a lot of disturbance. And this is not the time for us to back away, to cower down. This is a time to step up, to walk in our soul sovereignty and our authentic authority, to take the reins on what we're supposed to do, whatever that looks like for you. But understand and know that it's very active right now. It's very sensitive. So we got to be careful with our boundaries and knowing that, yes, the bloodline is under attack. And it's not from outside of the blood, it's from within the blood. Because that parasitic entanglement is within the blood. Keep tapping the hearts, keep letting it get to who it needs to get to. It's within the bloodline. And so these are the people that have held on to their wounds, their doom and their gloom, not willing to acknowledge it. We're talking about those elders in the family, those grandparents, those aunties, those uncles, those parents that choose not to acknowledge and have they themselves become gatekeepers. It's too far gone for them. They're gatekeepers. They have to make a major turnaround to be able to come out of that. They have to make a radical change. And it's not that it's impossible, but you already know what time it is. So don't try to save them. Don't try to beg them. Don't try to reason with them. They have to want it for themselves. They have to actually see something for themselves and come to you in enlightenment. I'm saying this, I'm being very honest. Be very careful, because you may think, oh, I could save them. Let me go back. And no, they're too far gone. They have to come to you with truth. I'm not talking about come to you with thanks for the roses, Dallas, you made it. I knew you'd find it. They got to come to you with truth and integrity. And it cannot be false. You have to use your third eye and make sure you're not falling for something just because it sounds nice. Right? And as I say that now, I'm going to explain to you the dream and how it came so you understand how you are the link. In the link, in the dream, there's me. And there's ahead of me is everybody that's after me. Let's say everybody that's born after me. And they're all in front of me. Everybody behind me is everyone that was born before me, right? The so-called elders, all those who are an elder or older than me are behind me. And as I'm walking, and this was a very clear and very serious, I could feel the message in this dream was very strong. So for whoever it hits, whoever it resonates, take it how it resonates, do with it what you can and what you will to do. If you are the breaker, which is what I am, the link that has broken it. So in front of me, everybody in front of me, see all these distractions want to kick up now? Everybody in front of me were ahead and I was losing sight of them. And in the dream, I started to kind of panic, right? I started to feel like, what's happening? What's happening? But it's because I broke the link. That's what broke whatever was gripping them. And it's like we were holding each other's shoulders, right? In this line, just moving through in this line. And at me, it broke and everything after me was free to go. So they were moving about and I was like, well, how am I going to protect them? What's going on? And in the panic, those that behind me were saying, it's okay, we'll know you'll get it, you'll find them. And it was coming as if they're supporting me. And right when I was starting to feel like I can't, then I started to feel like, you know what, they're right. I know me. I always find my way back. No matter what happens in life, my spirit is strong. So I know I'm going to find it. But then as we were going, every time I saw them, they would elude me again. It's like I see a glimpse of them and then they kind of go somewhere else. So I started to feel defeated again and I'm walking, and as I did, I started to feel everybody behind me cackling. They turned into like these cackling hyenas, like this very kind of sinister type energy. Now, this was to show me that the people behind me, these are family members that come before me, the elders, the people that were behind me. It wasn't just about them, and it wasn't about them supporting me. The cackling hyenas was the energy behind them, which is what they choose to protect in keeping their wounds, all of that. So that energy is cutting up now and wants to know. The energy is like wants to know where they are. So them supporting me was a false sense of support. The energy that is entangled with them, let's call it the parasitic energy, was using me, boosting me up to find them because it wanted to get its tentacles back, wanted to connect back with them. And it knew that it could do it through me. It knew that I would find them. So, and because I was the one who broke the link, they were able to break from me. They were counting on me to make the connection back so that they can put their hooks back in them. Why am I saying this? Because whatever you're doing in the bloodline, those of you that's doing your bloodline work, you got to do it with your generation. Leave the generations before you out of it. It's kind of like when they say, don't let your left hand know what your right hand is doing. You have to throw them off the scent. That's why they were feeling like cackling bloodhounds to me, like cackling hyenas that wanted the scent of that bloodline of everything that comes after me. Right? And it doesn't mean that they're all safe because they have a choice. I'm talking about cousins and things like that. They have a choice to make. You have broken it, but now they have a choice to make for them and their bloodline that comes after them, their descendants. But you've done what you can do, right? But to keep the scent off of you, whatever you're doing with your generation, right? You may need to call a family meeting, whatever we meet with, like I said, the golden tickets in the family. But whatever it is, and it's about coming together to have accountability. It's not about meeting so you could dump on each other. This is not about trauma dumping. This is not about bringing up your wounds so that you can, get an apology from. This is not about that. This is about coming together. You got to be about your business. We got to cut to the point because we don't have time to unravel every little thing. You can do that later on down the road. Right now, it's like coming together and saying, listen, this is what it is. This is what's happening. This is what I could help y'all with. Those of us who are the breakers, the karmic loop breakers, be very to the point. This is what I can help you with. This is what's happening. It's either you're aware of it or not. It's either you're with me or not. And if you see that they're not, don't engage with them too deep. You give them a little bit, keep going. The choice is on them. And you keep it to where it's out of the loop. You tell them in your generation, don't discuss this with the elders because that energy that's entangled with them wants to find a way in, wants to find a connection. So you got to kind of keep it to yourselves. This is very important for those of you who get it. You getting it. Keep it to yourself and your generation. Leave those behind you behind. They're going to have to find their way after you all have found your way. After you and your generational link has found what you needed to find. Express what you need to express. Come together and talk about things that the elders would never talk about. Believe me, each of you have a piece of the puzzle. Each of you have a piece of the puzzle from each one of your parents, somehow, some way. So when you come together, you're going to acknowledge some things. Again, we're not trauma dumping. You're going to acknowledge some things. Then you're going to have accountability. Look at where should be accountability for how you showed up as an individual. We can only account for ourselves, right? So have that accountability, and the fact that you have that accountability sends a ripple effect. It's a reflection. It allows for reflection, and through example, allowing the others around you, if they so choose to have accountability for themselves. Then the next step is to move in integrity. What do we do from here in integrity? Meaning we know what should be done and should not be done, and we need to uphold that with integrity, whatever that looks like in the family, right? This is really important for understanding, like the key to this, right? Why does it feel good to do the wrong thing? Because that's that parasitic energy. It feels good to do the wrong thing because you feel like you're getting away with something. And that's that energy that's attached through the wounds. This is why we have to first deal with self. Still work on you, whatever you're doing. High Priestess, welcome in. Peace, love, and light. Send some hearts so we can get the energetic algorithm going into who it needs to get to. Ashe. That energy that is hidden in the wounds. This is why I always say you're only as strong as your weakest link. Wherever your wounds are, and I'm not just talking about what you know, we're doomed by what we don't know as well. Ashe. It is our duty. We have to pay our due diligence. We have to respect, which is to relook. We got to relook at some things and respect it. And go back and acknowledge what it is. We have to seek, because it's the stuff that you don't know that will hurt you. right? That whole if I can't see it, it don't matter, that's a lie. It's the things that you don't know, and this is how the energy, the parasitic energy moves through those unhealed wounds, which are the demonic entities, right? They only have access through your wounds. And the family secrets are the family wounds, collective wounds within the family that they keep. That's why they are gatekeepers. So those elders that don't want to talk about it are gatekeepers. First step is we need to acknowledge that. I don't care how much you love them. I love them too. Love them, but know that they are gatekeepers so that you can know how serious the task is. Respect them to be who they are and accept them right where they are. That means don't try to be going around trying to save them and tell them something that they're not willing to acknowledge. If they can't get past the step of acknowledgement, then go no further, right? Someone says it feels good to do the right thing, to try it. It feels good to do the right thing, to try it. So try or do, as I say. I don't even like to say try. Thank you for that, High Priestess. I don't even like to say try because I always say triers are for liars, because if you trying, you ain't doing. So do the right thing. Do the right thing. For those who in my age bracket, you know what I'm talking about, right? Ashe, knowledge is power, and wisdom is even more powerful. Wisdom is that Sophia energy that's we're activating right now. Knowledge is the Christos energy. And the harmony of duality that's necessary right now, as I saw that number 424, that harmony of duality is having that Christos and Sophia energy. We don't just need knowledge, we need wisdom. And so the experiences that we've been having is the experience that teaches wisdom, should we choose to grab that wisdom. Jupiter is expanded wisdom. Do you choose to grab that wisdom? Do you choose to acknowledge what's happening in the family? Do you choose to be a true bloodline light warrior that is going to acknowledge, have accountability, and move with integrity? Acknowledgement first and foremost. So when you get together, the mission at hand is not to trauma dump, not to bring up old stuff just to be ruminating on it, but it's to acknowledge something. It's to bring something to the forefront and say, hey, I acknowledge this. Do you acknowledge it? Can we acknowledge it together? Because where two or more agree, there is power in thee. There is power in the number 3. I love the power of 3. So specifically, even if 3 of you can get together, you got a strong hold acknowledgement. If you can't get everybody, try to get 3 of y'all together. And when you come together, have a acknowledgement of some things that have happened. Acknowledge some secrets. You may say, okay, what are we acknowledging? Acknowledge some secrets. Because what you want to do is expose particular family secrets, things that don't nobody want to talk about. Bring it to the surface, because that parasitic energy doesn't like that. The demonic energy doesn't like it. It likes when you all get together for family functions and demon dance. They like when you wound dance, okay? Demon dancing is wound dancing. They like when you dance around with your wounds, keeping it a secret, nobody acknowledge it, and we just laugh, hee hee hell, hee hee ha ha hell, on surface level stuff. That's what that opposition energy likes. That's why they love holidays. They love Christmas. They love Thanksgiving, because everybody get together and act like ain't nothing happened. They love birthdays, things like that. If we're going to come together, the serious business is knowing that we need to acknowledge. We can't do the pretentious energy anymore. So how many of you out there that y'all come together with y'all family and it's a big elephant in the room? It's a big elephant sitting on your chest, and you sit there and you smile and laugh about it, signing an energetic contract of no-no-ism. Because what you laugh about, you agree about. Laughter is agreement. Laughter is agreement. Know that. That's why when comedians are doing a thing, when they get laughter, that's because of agreement. You laugh because in some way, shape, or form, you agree with what they're saying. The harder you laugh, the more you agree. You ain't got to listen to me. Just check it. Look back at when you laugh at things. Check it from now on how you laugh at things. When you watch those comedians, look around the room. Look who ain't laughing. The people that don't laugh is because they not really in agreement. Or they don't get it. Or both. They don't get it and they not in agreement. And they not in agreement because they don't get it. But those who laugh, means there's an agreement. So when you get together with family members and you laughing it up, caking it up, you're signing an energetic contract. You're saying, I agree to this secret some more. I agree to this secret some more. And you continue to help sow seeds of inauthenticity on the vibratory field. Period. We don't understand the detriment. This is why I'm saying the bloodline is under attack, because they trying desperately right now to do things like that. Some of them may be calling for you to come together and meet them somewhere so y'all could cake it up and eat and have a drink and laugh and he and not have acknowledgement. I'm telling y'all this now. Bloodline light warriors, if you're called into some kind of get together with any family members, bring up something uncomfortable. Acknowledge something. Have a moment of acknowledgement, not because you're trying to bring doom and gloom, but because you are being a part of bringing the truth, being the love that lights the truth, and breaking that karmic loop. Bring up something to have acknowledgement and have an accountability. See who else is willing to have accountability. If you want to know what family members are with you, the ones that are willing to have accountability. Anyone who is denying, avoiding, ducking, hiding, they're not willing to have accountability. Anyone who's making excuses and saying, oh yeah, but, no, we don't need no buts. Anything that has a but in it means they're not fully on board. They're going to pretend to agree. Don't listen to those pretend agreements. That's pretentious energy. They're going to say, yeah, but, da da da. No, but means you're making an excuse and you're still trying to coddle something. Very neatly. We got to be that serious. We got to have those boundaries. And even if you don't say something to them, acknowledge that they are not ready for true accountability. So if you all come together, make sure there's an acknowledgement of something, there's an accountability, look who is in accountability, and then furthermore, are we moving in integrity? From this point on, how are we going to engage with each other? Because integrity says, I'm going to honor the accountability. Integrity says we're going to honor what we acknowledge, and we're honoring the accountability, and that is how you're breaking things within the family loop. It's just that simple. It don't got to be nothing too big. It's breaking those secrets. It's exposing those secrets. I don't care how ugly they are. Right? So for those of you who are in families that have to deal with incest, it's time to bring those things up. Acknowledge that so-and-so molested so-and-so. Let's acknowledge that. Have accountability. Have accountability. I acknowledge that I was aware of that and I never said nothing about that. It's time to bring that to the light. For those of you who are in families that are peace, love, and light, thanks for the hearts. Thanks for being number one and sent a finger heart. Thank you so much, Gregory. Send some more hearts, those of you that are coming through. Have that acknowledgement. If you're in a family that their energetic cult pattern is to keep avoiding things, and they do it so artistically. Some of them are very artful in the way that they protect. Gatekeepers uphold and protect the secrets, and uphold and protect anything that they don't want to acknowledge. You're saying, I'm not acknowledging this no more. Loop holders. Thank you for the join my fan club. The loop holders, right? The loop breakers. No, the holders. Let me say it. The karmic people holders that want to keep in the loop. They don't want to acknowledge any of this. So be mindful of that. And you be the one to continue to expose that. And we're not trying to make them feel bad. But for those that broke the link, like what I told you, where the link broke with me, everybody that came after you, cousins, all of that's born after you. This is for the young ones, even your children and their children's children, the future. But the part that you're going to be able to take care of is really your particular children. That's who you're really responsible for. Don't try to be responsible for all the cousins in your generation. You can only tell this to them. They have especially particularly those that are born after you, because you broke the link. They are within that covenant for a moment in time. Now, if they stay under that covenant, that's their choice. That depends on what they do. That depends on what they acknowledge and what they choose to hold accountability to. It's a choice point for them. but they got to do the rest of it, and they got to continue to move with you in that way. They have a choice to say, well, damn, she broke the link or he broke the link, thank you. Do I choose to stay in this alignment? Do I choose to stay under this covenant? Because you have provided a strong covenant. Wherever you broke the line, you have provided a strong covenant over the rest of them. But how they choose to stay in it is on them. Right? And we could talk deeper about it. I could give, if it's something personal for any one of you, if you want to tap in, we can do one-on-ones, and I can help guide you through it, particularly because it's going to look different for everybody in their particular families. So if you have particular questions, you can email me at akilatextry@gmail.com. You can message me here. You can message me through, through TikTok. If you want a one-on-one, I will offer that. And time is of the essence. Everything I'm telling you now, y'all hear me speaking with this urgency. Time is of the essence. We have the rest of this month. We have until Third Eye Atlas passes Jupiter. That's on the 17th, and we have at least even up to the 20th. The end of this month is the end of Pisces. I'm talking, when I say month, I'm not talking about the Gregorian calendar. Those of you who got my 5D calendar, you know what I'm talking about. By the way, the next calendar is coming out for spring. We start our new year in spring. So this month is the month of Pisces. It ends around by the 20th when we enter into the spring equinox and we have a whole new year. Right? So we have until the end of that, because when we leave Pisces, we leave the spiritual house. We leave the house of karma, where karmic cycles are closed. And then we enter into a whole new cycle, a whole new year and cycle into Aries, where all the personal planets will be joining us and helping us. And we're talking about the personal planets that have been updated by Third Eye Atlas. And at this point, Jupiter would have gotten its update. And Jupiter is our expansion into the astrological evolutionary cosmos in the dimensions of our mind. This is 5D, y'all. What I'm talking to you about fifth dimension. We're no longer looking outside for the universe. The universe is the you in the universe. And the you in the universe is the dimensions in your mind. This is how you travel through time, is through the dimensions in your mind. So when we are doing this blood work, we are literally traveling through time, through the dimensions within the bloodline. So it is that important in what we're doing, the works that we're doing right now. It's not just for you. It's not just for your family, right? It also expands to your culture, your ancestral lineage and your culture that comes through that ancestry. There are codes that comes through that ancestry, right? That bloodline carries codes. And in the fifth dimension, we're understanding ancestry like we've never understood it before, right? Thank you. Peace, love, and light. I support you in your service. Thanks for the support. I acknowledge that my mother is a gatekeeper. Jay, that's what I'm talking about. We got to acknowledge it. I do too. I acknowledge, this may hurt some of you, but I had to acknowledge that my mother is a gatekeeper. Love her, but she's a gatekeeper. Grandmother, big gatekeeper. The elders that have went before us that want to keep secrets and not look at things, they are gatekeepers. If they are secret keepers, they are gatekeepers. This is about exposure. You have to expose the darkness. The light exposes the darkness, the shadows that want to hide in the dark. So we're exposing that and letting it go. And it's deeper. It's the ancestors. Bring it back to me, Spirit, because I know I was saying something about the ancestry codes. That is very important. I'm going to do more of this. For those who want to know more, I'm actually doing an ancestral, if you want to dig deeper, I'm doing an ancestral passage, our first on-site retreat in Jamaica next month in April. So if you want to know more, again, email me or message me and I can give you some more information on that as well. That's next month. And it's gathering everything that we've gathered. I'm telling you what I can tell you right now to do what needs to be done right now. Can it be done next month? Yes. But there's an importance on right now. More of it expands and opens up. There's going to be more work to do, right? The true work begins when we enter into spring. So there's more work to do. But whatever you can do right now, that's why I'm giving this message. There's a certain urgency on what you can do and what you, the light warriors, the bloodline light warriors, what you are capable, able, willing and able and responsible to do within this timeline, so that in the energetic seal, you are sealed in. And that determines how you're going to be sealed in, right? How you move, how you do what you're supposed to do determines how you're going to be sealed in. And in a seal that is not going to open up again, particularly as it pertains to Third Eye Atlas, because we're never going to see it again, not in this lifetime, right? So something that has come up about the ancestors, what was it? Understanding the truth multidimensionally about what ancestors are. It's not just the people that come before you, but the ancestors are like a key in the link of the blood, in the bloodline, right? The ancestors, therefore, the spirit of the ancestors carries the codes as information within the God encryption, which is our DNA, as a link between the cosmic spiritual bloodline and the earthly physical bloodline. That was a piece of the download that I gave you just now, right? Just so you understand what the ancestors, our understanding of ancestors is going to look different. It's not just they died before me, so they're the ancestor. There's a spirit, they're the link within the codes, and this is why our ancestors honored the ancestors, because they were tapping into those codes, those informational codes, which Third Eye Atlas is here unlocking dormant codes. So we, those of us here that are the links, the breakers, we are being called to unlock and access these codes through the ancestors in time as the ancients of days within our bloodline. This is what you're being called to do. So it's deeper than you think, right? It's not just ancestors looking over you. It's like they're reaching through and we're connecting in through the codes within the bloodline. The ancestors themselves, their existence themselves, are a particular code within the bloodline that comes through and gives information. So their imprint may still be around. We have collective imprints. We have ancestral imprints that are still around, but as it relates to the blood, it is codes of through the ancestry, right? It is known as family that is carried through ancestry, right? So take it how you take it. I don't know how much further to break that down, but faithfully you get what I'm saying about this breakdown, this spiritual blueprint that is infused, that cosmic blueprint, which is your spiritual bloodline, your God encryption, your full infinite existence of how you exist in multiple dimensions, that travels through into the DNA, and it is infused with your physical bloodline in this lifetime. So you see why I'm saying it's not just about the physical bloodline. Don't think that it's just here in this life. Oh, my bloodline, my grandparents, great-great-grandparents, it's also infused with your spiritual assignment and the multiple lifetimes that you've had. That's the black box that I was talking about, that travels with you no matter where you go. And the way to access it is in through your subconscious mind, which is infused in your bloodline in time, right? This is a whole part of the convoluted universe. I don't know how to really fully break it down, but this is the convoluted universe, and we just have to understand, overstand, and understand that there's just some things we're not going to know everything about. What we can know, what I do know, I can explain. Some of us can know. Some of you are getting downloads. Don't try to understand every single thing, right? That's the shadows of Virgo that we're breaking free from. Trying to understand and be obsessed with every single detail. Don't try to understand every single detail. Get the information you get, write it down if you need to, do what needs to be done, and live in every now moment. Every decision you make is choice point. The decision you make is the pills you take. That's what you're going to be settling with. That's what you're prescribing to yourself by every now moment making a decision. So this is why this is really important on what you do, honoring your personal integrity. If you know something, be about that truth. Don't be pretentious with anyone, particularly in the family. Be willing to make them uncomfortable. They're going to be uncomfortable. Hell, you're going to be uncomfortable because you're being called out to do something different, to not withstand certain things. Remember, the bloodline is under attack. That is from within. That's like saying, shh, shh, the enemy is in the house. The enemy is in the house. You need to understand that so that you are not getting wrapped up and distracted by certain family members that are going to portray as if they're helping you. Remember what I told you? The people behind me was like, you could do it, you could do it. But lo and behold, the sabotaging energy, the parasitic entanglement, is the one that's really using them. Your loved ones are being used by entities that hate you. That parasitic energy hates you. And they hate that you are exposing the energetic pattern, because that's the glue. That's what keeps certain family members locked, is that pattern and their loyalty, if you will, their allegiance and their alliance to that pattern, the energetic cult. So be on lookout of what that energetic cult pattern is in your life. Be willing to recognize it at every step. Recognize when you see it in a particular family member. I don't care how much you love them. I don't care how nice they are. Recognize it so that you are not distracted by it or caught in the webs of it, so that you can have a healthy boundary with them. Love them, but have a healthy boundary and call it out wherever you see it. Don't let it sit in your field of information, not even for a moment. The moment you recognize it, call it out or cancel it. Don't let it sit with you. This is how serious it is. Bloodline light warriors, please be at your guard and know that the bloodline is under attack by your loved ones from within the walls. Nobody's on the outside trying to beat down the door like a big bad wolf. The enemy is within. Okay, the energetic pattern is within. The parasitic entanglement is within. I want us to get that so that you're not falling for the bait. Ashe? Unapologetic, thanks for joining. Thanks for those of you who send your hearts, your likes, your roses, all of that, and keep it going so that certain bloodline warriors can pass through and get whatever information they needed to get. Please remember to follow if you can, because we're doing our best to get the numbers to 1,000 so that it's not such a hustle to get the live. Like, I be on a heart hustle, y'all. It be on a but it's teaching me something. It's like tap the hearts, teaching me something there to go through the heart chakra. We got to be on a heart hustle right now. That's a message in and of itself. To do what I'm sharing with you all, we got to be in the expansion of the heart. The heart chakra needs to be expanded in that consciousness. Heart expansion. We got to have compassion for the collective. We got to have patience. And all of this takes heart. We got to have courage to be able to stand up at these particular now moments that we may not be comfortable and the family member might not be comfortable, but we got to have the courage. We need to be encouraged and have the courage of the heart of a lion that knows when to roar and knows when to be at peace. There's a time and place for everything, right? But I believe you could do it, y'all. We got it. We got this right here. So if you feeling this, if you're a bloodline light warrior, drop it in the chat before we go out. Let us know. I'm a bloodline light warrior, and I'm going to do what I came here to do. I'm a karmic loop breaker. You know, drop that in the chat, or drop your angel codes, whatever you've been seeing, 333, 444, 555, whatever numbers you've been seeing. That's because you're walking in alignment. I don't even want to say falling. You're walking in alignment. You're standing in your truth and on your assignment. It is time. It is time to be where we need to be. Ashe? Ashe. Any questions, any comments? You know, I always like to put that out there. I know I just threw a whole lot. A whole lot to think about. A lot of us need to be rethinking, reshaping, setting some serious boundaries with your loved ones. You got to be on alert. You got to be a strong watchman or a strong watchwoman and be on alert for what's happening in the family guidelines right now. Right? And this is happening on multiple levels. Ashe? What is your religion? To be honest, I don't have one. because religions are capped and I cannot afford to be capped. I'm an infinite being. I'm more omni. You know how they say God is omniscient, omnipotent, omnipresent? I'm an omniist because I am for the all, and God is no respecter of person. So that's how I look at God. Even in how I look at God, I say God because that is the terminology, but God for me is great order of divinity because it is a great order of everything divine. It is creation in and of itself. And there is an order to that. And so therefore that is God. Out of the great order of divinity comes us. So I don't really have a particular religion, and I don't knock any religion because all religions have their bit of truth and their bit of false as well. So I don't knock anyone. Each one of them have a piece of the puzzle. If we stop arguing and we put the pieces together, we'll get a whole big picture. So, but I can't be confined to any one particular religion because they only have a piece of the puzzle, as I said, and then I'll be locked out of the rest of it. I don't go studying all religions either. I just look for truth. I go to the book of life within and do my soul activating right there. Do you eat meat? Do I eat meat? Not particularly, and especially when I'm doing spiritual work. I'm not going to say I'm a strict vegetarian or vegan, because if spirit, I listen to my body, and sometimes the body is calling for, meat. I've never liked meat since I was little, so intuitively I was just never a meat person. But at times I may eat chicken, fish. I know fish is considered meat, so chicken, fish. I may eat turkey. I do not eat pork at all. Again, I was raised in a Rasta household, and Rastas don't eat pork. So that's just been a liberty that I've kept in. The things that are resonating as truth for me, I keep. If out of any religion, I would say if that is considered a religion, Rasta, that has been the religion that I was raised in, along with being around a lot of family members who are Christians. Most of us have had that Christian background. So, but right now as it stands, I don't have any particular religion. I am omniist. I'm in the omnipresence of the divine. I move with the omnipotence and within the omniscience of it all. Ashe, Jesus Christ is the only living God. That's you. I'm glad you could keep that. You keep that. I move in Christ consciousness. I'm not stuck in the man, and I don't idolize the man Jesus. No. I move in the super Christ consciousness, or what we call Christ consciousness, or the Christos energy, but I'm not stuck in the man. And furthermore, being stuck in the man that they gave you, that they made up in the Nicene Council of 325 AD. We're going to have to learn a little bit more and be a little bit more aware. You're going to have to learn that the divinity lives within you. The kingdom of God is within you. They take pieces of truth and put it in that book, and a lot of religionists get it twisted. I'm not fighting any religions. I don't knock them. Like I said, everybody's at their level, and maybe you just not ready to be there yet. That's okay. Keep reading what you got to read. All right? That book is not for everybody. You got to learn how to be a metaphysics, which is a metaphysician is looking beyond the physical. Right? Christ consciousness is the only way, because that's your super conscious. So if you understand that, yes, that is the way. But the man in the book, that's not my way. Right? In the flesh back then. Like I said, I don't knock. If that's the religion and that's where y'all are, that's where you are. But that's Christ consciousness. The flesh, Jesus in the flesh, the man, or Yeshua. Even if you say Jesus, you already went wrong, and you came far from the origins of tone. And I don't like to tell people that they're wrong. Wherever you feel right, you right. Be right where you are. But the name Jesus, that's with a J, the letter J was not even put into existence till around the 1500s. So if you're going to talk about the origins of this man, it's Yeshua. There was no letter J. So you couldn't walk around saying Jesus Christ even in his day. If you even lived back in his day and called him Jesus, he probably would not turn around. unless he knew you by spirit, or unless you knew him by spirit, because Jesus was not his name. So if you're going to call for something, call for Christ. The Christ energy was always here. That's the thing that was always in the beginning, was the Word, and the Word was with God. That's that Christ energy, Christ consciousness, the spirit of Christ. If you don't like the word energy, Ashe. So I've been where you're at. I don't think so. There's no way you would have been where I'm at and then double back. That's what I would call doubling back. And not to tear you down or anything, but when you get to a level, when you get to where I'm at, is no way I would go back and even say Jesus Christ like that, in that way, because I know the truth of Yeshua's existence, and I know the truth of the Christ consciousness, and why the coming of Christ is us returning to the Christ consciousness in our soul. It's a soul unfoldment. That's the return. So if you can't come into that Christ consciousness within yourself, then you won't be able to find Christ consciousness. You won't be able to see the return at all. So, not to knock anything, not for nothing, but when you're where I'm at, that's a whole different level of Christ consciousness. That's why you think I've doubled back. It's not, I can't tell you where you are. That's why I said not to put you down. I'm definitely not doing that. But for me, that would be going backwards, because I'm already where I am with Christ. I and the Father are one, which means I embody that Christ consciousness. So I don't need to be looking for the word or the man, Jesus Christ, to save me in any way or form. Not knocking if that's where you are, that's where you are. But for me, it's no, I can't turn back in that way. I've already been, through there. Even though at first I didn't even believe in Christ at all. I had come from that to seeing Jesus a certain way, and to going back and now elevating and saying it's a Christ consciousness. So, gatekeepers of the human family, I love you too. Peace, love, and light. Love always. Thank you for the love. Always thank you for the love. So those of you that are here, tap, tap, tap the hearts. Thank you for sharing the information. Like I said, just remember, this was a message about the bloodlines being under attack. And if you're a bloodline light warrior, you got to know that. We got to know what's happening, so we know how to address the family wounds need to be addressed. This is not a time of passivity and allowing it to pass anymore. This is a time to get that key, have a sacred reverence, and make that power move within your own soul's dynamic, within the family soul dynamic, and within the cultural soul dynamic. We've got work to do. Ashe. So I'm going to leave that right there. Again, if you're looking for any one-on-ones, if you're looking to do even a natal chart reading, because that helps you with your spiritual blueprint, you can do that as well. You can message me here or there, or email me at akilatextri@gmail.com. AKILAHTEXTRI@gmail.com. And then I just saw 535. So I went from a 353 way earlier to a 535. So bringing that full circle, that's spiritual completion within the change. First we had change within the spiritual completion, and now we have first we had change within the creative completion, that's the 3, and now we have creative completion within the change. So however that resonates with you, it's time to make a change. It's time to recognize the spiritual completion that is happening. Ashe. Peace, love, and light. 555. 535. All right.